gas is making driving much more costly, but another aspect of driving is getting a lot more expensive as well, our car insurance.
That's right, and here are the tips for cutting your car insurance costs. We welcome back our life skills and money coach, Steve Diggs. A lot of people are under the impression, Steve, that once you have your car insurance in place and the premium sent to you, that's it. It's going to stay the same.
Well, it doesn't stay the same, Charlie. That's exactly the point. Now, there was an article that came out earlier in the week that I'm sort of responding to that inferred that car insurance prices were just going through the roof. I've done a little bit of research on this, and that's not true. The average person in America today is paying around $900 a year for their insurance, and that's going up probably $20, $10 to $20 per person on average per year right now. It's not a huge thing, but the point is this, it is a big expense. And with gas costing as much as it is, I think car insurance is one of those good things that we could look at that might really save us some trouble. And I'll tell you, there's no need to complicate it. You know, sometimes you can complicate a crowbar, but there's some simple things we can do that can make this a simpler and easier process for a lot of us and help us save some money.
I really haven't given a lot of thought to this particular topic.
Either, but you know, here's the thing, we are all a little wary of the little things that we see on television. We can say get this much on your car insurance, this much on your car insurance. You know, that not necessarily is the way you want to go. What are some of the easy things that you can do to make sure that you're getting the best rate from who you already have?
Well, Kelly, I'm glad you brought that up. And maybe before we hit those, now that you brought this up, let me kind of give a quick response. Listen, one of the things that troubles me a lot are some of these promotions to sell you the least amount of car insurance that you can buy. In the state of Tennessee, the least amount is not a lot of coverage. There are some moral and possible legal implications. What if you do buy the least you can get, and then you have a very bad car accident? What about morally and even legally? What if your car insurance doesn't cover the total amount, the amount that you bought?
Or the person involved on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. And so I encourage folks to think about what the possibilities are and buy plenty of coverage. But even with that said, there's some good ways to save some money. First thing I encourage people simply to do is to keep a good credit score. The FICO people keep our credit scores. And car insurance people are more and more checking our credit scores to determine our premium levels to some degree. So pay our bills on time. Do the things that are necessary to keep a good FICO score. People don't know this, but that plays into it in some cases.
That's rare. I never given thought to that.
That's somewhat new, but it's changing. Second thing I would encourage you to think about doing is this. Get all of the discounts. There are all kinds of discounts out there. There are multi-car discounts. There are multi-user discounts. For instance, you buy your car insurance from the same outfit that you buy your homeowner's insurance or your umbrella policy from. A lot of times you get discounts. What if your kid makes straight B's or A's in school? That kid can probably get a discount. You need to report that. And also, if you're a low mileage driver, you only drive to church on Sundays and back, tell them about it. Some car insurance companies reduce your premiums.
With that in mind, all these things you're rattling off here, how often should you contact your insurance company and just kind of review what you have and see how things may have changed and you didn't realize it?
Well,
6 months?
It probably at least every year.
And
you know, do as often as you want to, of course. But, you know, there are things that we can do while we've got the present insurance. But one of the things we will mention in a moment is what to do when you're thinking about changing car companies. And maybe before we get there, let me just real quickly, because I think the agenda has the next point on here that I want to pop up. Number 3, I would encourage you to buy just what you need. You know, if you've got an old car, you may not want to carry collision coverage. You may not want to carry comprehensive. I mean, if the car isn't worth more than a shoebox, you may not want to be paying an extra X number of dollars every year to get it fixed.
You want liability.
Definitely. You need liability and maybe some others, but some of these other things. And now, Charlie, back to what you were just suggesting a moment ago, I think this is important. Fourth thing I'd encourage you to do is think about switching companies early. That is, if you're with a company and you're thinking about shopping around, maybe for something else with another company, start before your policy expires, because a lot of companies will give you an early change discount, as much as 12%. But if you wait until the last minute when your insurance is running out and you're trying to change, they'll assume that you're maybe having trouble with your existing company.
Well, how far in advance? How far in advance of the expiration of your current insurance should you start shopping and count on enough time to make the transition?
Well, 2 or 3 months. You know, it probably doesn't hurt a bit to start shopping.
And then ask them how long it takes to get it enforced.
By all means, and that's very important. Don't ever let your existing insurance expire without having another policy.
One day could make a difference.
Absolutely,
Your last point, I know, shop aggressively.
Oh boy, I'm all for that one.
I love that.
I'll tell you, shop until you drop. You know, you need to look at what is out there. There are all kinds of deals out there. And understand, different companies do things differently. Not all companies are created equal, but there are some good online websites that you can check with. One of my favorites is insure.com. Another one is esurance.com. Just go online, check around, and you can find some good quote systems that will give you some comparative analysis, which really helps our shopping, I think.
That's a good thing. Well, let's go back a little bit. We were talking about the legal and the moral aspects of getting enough insurance. You were talking more about if you were to get sued, you would need to have enough to make sure that you're covering whoever you may possibly hurt.
That's right. That's right. The state of Tennessee requires fairly low coverage, and I'd have to check. I don't recall what it is exactly. But if you only buy that much, and you're in a wreck that cost you this much, and people are hurt, things have been damaged, morally and probably legally, you're going to be expected to take care of that loss.
Sure.
So I encourage people not to really go on the cheap here. Try your very best to get everything you think reasonably you should have.
It certainly makes sense. Car insurance, everything like that is very, very important. Do a little quick checkup. See what you need and what you don't have and you might need, all right?
Absolutely.
Check up from the neck up.
That's it.
Steve Diggs, diggs.com. If you need more information, he's with us every Friday.
See you next time, bud.
Catch you then.
All
Bye.
right.
After your local news, here.